Which one of you was sleeping with Sophia?
They're gonna talk about mom now, like kissing and stuff.
It's impossible. Mom never kissed anybody.
Except for Jesus. And that's how we were born.
What is happening, folks? Welcome to another episode of Nerds at Night. How is everybody doing in... Right, you got it right. Podcast land. Isn't it like Blue's Clues? You just fill in the blank, and it's great. Hopefully, everybody is having a great time post season 5. All of your, nerves come down. We've had all the answers that we're going to get. And then we have a new mystery that we're going to get into. One of our guests today has thoughts. Before I get too heavy, what are we even talking about? Well, today, obviously, if you're clicking on here, we're talking all about... For this particular episode, I wanted to do something special and gather up some of the best minds that I've spoken with all across this season of Only Murders. All of these guests, you guys have shown love in the comments. You guys have watched them. I know you probably reached out to them. I know you probably watched them separately from this channel, or maybe you came from one of their channels and you found me. And if you did, hi, how's it going? So glad we're all here and we're gathered. We've got quite the crew today. So let me stop beating around the bush and just get right into it. All of our guests are amazing. And let's just kick them off. Our first guest is Megan from Kit Kats. Our next guest is Ivan from Filmer Dude 24, and from Road Goes Ever On and On. We have both Mark and Sterling in the building. Oh, we are gathered. Hey, what is happening? What is going on? This is great. Everybody, thank y'all for coming on, taking some time. Post season 5, I'm sure we all have a lot of thoughts. Some of them will show, I'm sure, but at least some of the ones we can get off of here, like a good therapy session, like a good group that would just go around the room and we'll say things we love about each other and things we don't love about the show. Let me start off with the boys in blue over here, Sterling and Mark. Mark, give me your thoughts on the reveal of who the killer is and how everybody died, question mark?
So overall, you called it last week when we talked about Bo Tillman, beautiful. The text message, you definitely called that. I think the reveal didn't feel that heavy because of Tillman's wasn't in the season as often as like other killers have been in the past. So it didn't feel like it was that impactful. But I mean, I don't hate that it's Tillman. I don't think it's a terrible reveal, but definitely don't think he was in the season enough. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. Sterling, is that how you're feeling too?
Yeah, I don't think that it hit quite as much as I was hoping. Like the show was a great show, and so I did still very much enjoy the show. I still think that an okay one of Only Murders is still better than most shows. But this one, the season didn't quite hit, and I thought that they were just gonna like wrap it up perfectly. And that ending for me was kind of like meh. Like I even talked with Mark about the fact that I don't even know if those both were like technically murder or if it could be argued that like both of them were homicide.
Yeah. Somebody wrote in the comments, only accidents in the building.
Saw that.
And I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Ivan, what do you've already put your video out at this point. You've had some time to gather even from your video. Give me some of your thoughts on this reveal.
Well, I was okay. So I actually finished editing my reaction earlier today. So that's gonna go up tomorrow. So I forgot how like upset I actually was. Like visibly upset. And I even forgot that I said like in the beginning of the of my video, I was just like, if both end up being accidents, that's going to be bad. And they ended up both being, in my opinion, accidents. But it's fine. I am upset, but at the same time, it's only because it's like it was so obvious from the get-go that like it, to me, it was like it could not have been this. Could not have been so amateurishly obvious.
Mhm.
But here we are.
But here we are. Megan, some thoughts from you, please, ma'am.
Yeah, so I agree. It definitely felt obvious at a certain point, especially when, the show after a couple seasons gets into its patterns where it's like, okay, if you haven't seen this person for a while and they're deliberately like sprinkling in a little bit of mayor scenes here and there, but not really giving you enough about them, you know that they're probably going to be the person or come in later. Whoever thought of the text message clue first, I don't know if that was someone on Reddit or who it was, but that was, a great clue, I thought. But the idea in and of itself, I don't dislike. I just think the execution was where it really went wrong for me. The whole scene of the reveal with like Lester, how he accidentally killed Nikki Ketchamilio, I was like, okay, I mean, I guess maybe to save face for Lester so he doesn't look like that bad of a guy. But then when the mayor kind of slightly shoved him a little bit and then ended up accidentally murdering him, it's like, okay, this is a little bit anticlimactic given the whole stakes and the amount of stuff that we were given at the beginning of the season, and it just kind of builds up to this. I just also thought the dialogue in the exchange before, like with the mayor and Lester, was a little bit on the nose. Like, you're a doorman, you don't matter, you don't have any friends, you have tenants. And then he's like, no, my friends. It just felt like very cheesy to me. So I think even if they just kind of made it written better, I wouldn't have minded the reveal and everything as much. There was also just a lot of clues that kind of reminded me of like in last season where they had, Marshall brought the flame retardant vest to the murder scene and it only exists for the purposes of us knowing that it belongs to a stuntman. That kind of felt like the shrimp tails in this season. It's like, okay, we never really went to the shrimp tails, but they were just sprinkled into the scene as a clue to tell us that the shrimps are important. So it's just stuff like that I keep getting hung up on bothers me. But I will say the cliffhanger for this season, I was like, all right, just reel me back in, guys. I'm a sucker again. All right.
Yeah.
I'm committed. So
We'll get to that. We'll get to that
Yeah,
for sure. Because I think for all of us, we have a certain feeling about that.
Yeah.
That's a bit more positive than this. It did feel like a bit of a kerfuffle with Lester, with the whole falling on him, and then I immediately to your point with the dialogue, when as soon as the mayor walked in, I'm like, oh, it's the mayor's finger. Like when they do the replay, and I'm like, well, we already know because they got it cut off. But I was like, oh, they're not gonna do the finger thing, but they're gonna do it. And then when it's that finger comment, oh, just a finger of whiskey, I was like, that's where he gets the fucking idea from. Like Nikki gets the idea, a finger of whiskey. Like this is what he. The thing I love about that scene, though, and I'm going to let this play here, he takes a bump of coke from the knife, and I'm like, this guy's a savage.
Rock and roll, I love it.
He knows how to party.
Oh yeah,
Nikki Catchamilio, that's who knows that.
Oh, there's moments like that where I'm like, I don't know if they meant that for me to laugh as hard as I am right now, but that's hilarious. But the whole kerfuffle, like I think a lot of us knew that this could happen and this could play out. We all knew. I think we all knew. Billionaires, a la finger goes to someone in control of X. And I think very early on, the show did a good job of like sort of tossing this and there here. But like very early on, when you see the cops and they're like, hey, they're trying to find the body, and then they're like, well, we'll just mark it as this. Everybody had the same thing. There was like, well, it's either mob ties or it's mayor ties. And that's it. That's the only thing that could be.
Or George.
That's been your time, Ivan. Thank you for coming on. Or Ivan did have George, and he convinced me of some George stuff, and I had George on my list, and it could have been for all the sci-fi academics that they did with this fake finger that we don't even know, like where did this come from? Like, why is it so realistic? Also, why is it bending in episode 1? You're bending your fingers, sir. Like, how? Convince me. I wanted to be convinced, and I knew that was what it was, and I was just hoping that that's not what was revealed. I was let down with that. I was let down with the murders themselves, as I think we all are. Like, okay, if you're gonna give it to me, but like, give it to me fancy. Give it to me on a plate. Give it to me over many courses. That just, I think all of us can agree, like, that didn't happen. Mark, you made a face. Mark, you're making a face.
Well,
right
I was
now.
just saying that the mayor didn't even have stitches, no bandages.
Right,
Like a week
right,
later, just hand fine. That's
That is
very
not
hard
how
to
that
believe.
works. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
no.
not.
And
yeah,
so
Blake,
many
you mentioned in one of your
Okay.
videos that like he actually does bend his finger at one point.
Mhm.
You know, because like I assume that they didn't want to reveal it to the rest of the cast, so they probably gave him instruction not to bend his finger. And then
Right.
in just like one scene, he probably just forgot, you know, and it like slipped his mind and it made it through the cuts. But they're like little things like that where if you are somebody who is like trying to pour through every frame, that's wrong information that like sends you. That's not even like a red herring. That's
Right.
just an honest mistake that sends you the wrong direction and tells you it can't be him. You know, versus I think that maybe for like some people that just are kind of watching it casually, I don't think that this season was necessarily the end of the world. I don't think that these issues were huge. You know, they probably just were consuming it and getting the jokes and okay.
No, to your point, in the podcast that they do, the Hulu one with Keegan-Michael Key, he does talk about, he's like, I didn't know it was the killer until like episode 5 or whatever. But he did say throughout shooting, I kept getting notes from John Hoffman to say, like, just remember, just be intentional about what you do with your left index finger. And he was like, I didn't know what that meant. That was weird, you know? So to your point, it bends in episode 1, but when he comes into episode 7 and he's giving them what notes or whatever, he even has like, he pulls the notepad, but if you notice his finger does this, there we go. He's holding the notepad and he's writing, but his finger's out. This finger's out that way. And I'm like, oh, that he must have known then. Like, yeah, he did, because he shot that episode after he found out he was the killer. So now he's even more intentional about it. But like, to your point, this is their mistake. Like for all of us who are super sleuths, nerdtectives, whatever you want to call us, Arconiacs, we are like sitting here watching every single piece of this and trying to be like, okay, that's wrong, that's right, that's this, that's that. We're the plot hole people. Like, they're like, the timeline of episode 5, episode 6, that don't make no damn sense. How can Thee see Charles's apartment if she lives right above him? That don't make no damn sense. Like, none of this makes sense.
Oh, Megan.
Yeah. Megan made a face.
Oh, I forgot about that. I was thinking about like why they're wearing coats when it's August, but
Right.
like at the
That's
end of this
hilarious.
episode, it's like the more you unpeel it, it's like what the hell are we watching?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
You brought up though the shrimp tails that Oliver finds in episode 3 or 4, whatever. When they go back, they're there, and so all of us are like, well, there was shrimps in there, because that's the only way that works.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Ivan, you are.
So why was Lester dealing cards?
You know,
why was he the card dealer? Like, he's supposed to be the doorman, not the card dealer. It just I don't know. It was bad.
Well, I was going to come to you because you are at least in last season, you were able to pick out the killer. Episode 1, like your episode 1, you picked out the killer, you picked out the reason, you said it was because nobody knew this then. And it is to your credit, you do have a bit more of like, you do like screenplays, you like to write a little bit like that. Talk to the point of, as a writer, where the writers, I think, let people down in this season, and what really they could have done. We're just talking about the one. We'll do another episode where we talk about the other one. But in this season particularly, give me some of the lows that you noticed from the writer specifically in this season.
Well, I mean, right off the bat, the first episode is not as strong as the other first episodes in the other seasons. In the other seasons, they have a whole opening. It's either somebody else narrating, or it's a backstory of a character, or it's like a minute to 3 minutes long. But in this one, it was like not even a minute. It was Lester getting ready, and now they're reading his obituary, and that is it. There was no lead into the episode, and immediately I was worried because I was like, oh no, if this is how it starts, I'm not sure. So the first 3 episodes were like weird to me, but I had hope that was quickly dashed. But there was no real bashed, right? There was just they focused too much on the billionaires, and there was no real questions. There were questions, but no one had follow-up questions. Like, where were the follow-up questions? Like, everyone was acting like me, taking everything at face value. It's not how you do an investigation. It's just, I don't know. It was just baffling to me. And characters were not acting like themselves either.
Yeah, I think the trio let a lot of us down this season by not being the investigating force that they have been.
These episodes felt like spec scripts to me, not like actual real finished drafts. Just like, here's a concept. Everything else, every single episode ignored clues from the past episode, and it was just frustrating.
It really did. And I like that thought. You're like, it's a spec script. It's just like, here's concepts, because then they're like, okay, Marty, Steve, you guys know what to do, right? Just get some funny shit.
Riff.
Which they are hilarious. The comedy was still good. It's just that it's a murder mystery show as well. So
right, yeah, and I think that they let a lot of people down in that, because I mean, Megan pointed out some stuff. I pointed out some stuff. You pointed out some stuff. Mark, were there any inconsistencies to you that we can add to this? We're going to grow this list. Any inconsistencies to you?
Well, maybe not. Maybe inconsistencies in like how the trio were acting. I do think that there's just too much in the season. Like, it just felt like they were adding too many different like plot lines that didn't really merge well together. So like, I did see an inconsistency of like when they talked about 5 years that
oh my God,
they've been going through this, but some of the murders have been directly behind each other. It's like not a year between murders, and they took a year off. So there are a couple inconsistencies of the timeline there.
Because it was almost exactly 5 years ago that the 3 of us got together listening to a Cinda Canning true crime podcast.
There needs to be a lead writer that like keeps everybody in check and like has a big chalkboard and is like, okay, I've ran through I was here from the start of this. So here's actually where we're at in the MCU right now, at timeline wise, just so that way this can all make sense, right? And it ain't no 5 years. It's like maybe 3 if like things are happening back to back, like season 2 and season 3 and season 4, like all these well, I guess they're separated by a few months, but season 3, season 4 happen back to back. Season 4, season 5 happened a week
nearly back to back.
Yeah. And then we fast forward another 3 months. Like, I don't know how they count months in this world, but like, I think none of us think that it's 2025 in their universe.
I have just accepted the fact that time is not important to the writers. Because in season 3, I figured out that there's no way that Ben Glenroy would have been 8 years old for that first season of Brazos. And I did figure out it was the first season of Brazos. And I figured out when Brazos was. And there was just no way that Ben Glenroy would be the age that he is, that Mabel would be the age that she claims that she was in that season, watching Girl Cop, and Ben being that age. It's just, it does not make sense whatsoever. And I was just like, this is such a huge mistake. How did the writers just not do simple math? It was crazy. It was crazy.
Well, they did that in season 4 too with that Instagram post that Saz had, because it's supposed to be directly back to back season 3 to 4. Season 3 takes place in 2023, presumably, and then like a week. No, it was a day that she died, which was also the Death Rattle Dazzle premiere. She posted on Instagram, and it was like March whatever 2024, and it's like, wait, I thought this was supposed to be the same day, which was 2023.
I did not know that.
It is just it gives me, I literally could not sleep when I watched the finale of this episode because I was like about to drift off, and then my eyes popped open and I was like, wait, why were there shrimp tails on the ground? What is Tommy the Tongue supposed to be? I was like, I felt like I was losing my mind.
You're not, because they don't explain where them shrimp tails come. We don't ever know why Tommy the Tongue is using
Tommy the Tongue.
Lorraine. Yeah, who he is, what this is, who's running it, who took money out, why they have Lester's address. Like, we don't know anything. Like, quite honestly, Sterling, you're shaking your head there, like you know what we're talking about here.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's a comedy first, and I think they potentially allow the writers creative space to be able to take big swings. You know, like this show has done some pretty cool things, like the musical number. You know, it did like the avant-garde episode, and I think their focus is more on like letting the writers create something that they think will hit with the audience, laugh wise. And then I think it's like the mystery second. And so, you know, once again, I think to a casual audience, I think that works fine. But if you are somebody that is taking it seriously and really trying to get to the bottom of all the mysteries, I think it can cause you to pull out all of your hair.
Is that why you're wearing a hat today? On cue right there. I love that. Can't make that up. But it is to your point, man. Like, I do think that, yeah, I love it. Take creative spaces, take chances, do things. It's a fun little, I mean, there's a fun little moment in episode 2 that we never come back to where it's this like documentary on doormen. And I had the same question as one of the doormen. He's like,
so what is this again?
A study on New York City doormen.
Oh. Is the public clamoring for that?
Right. Well, I mean, you mentioned the MCU earlier, right? And it's like the like I've seen things about, you know, writers, directors of the MCU that sometimes feel that certain things are like shoehorned in, you know, and they like feel that they're like in these confines where they have to stick to these narratives and follow all of these things that like don't necessarily work with what they want. And I think in this case, they're maybe not going that route of like, look, if you fudge some stuff, whatever, you're gonna piss off some YouTubers and some people on Reddit, but the majority of the population will have a good time.
Nope, don't like that.
I don't know what population, because like everyone's comments are just so negative.
Yeah, same.
That I just like when I look at the RT scores, I'm like, who is enjoying this?
Yeah.
I really think it's Reddit. I think it's Reddit because like, and like, I agree to your point, Sterling. I think certain things you can take creative license. I'm okay with that. There's certain things that's like continuity stuff that's not going to make a difference. Like when Rainey was like, I was talking about this with my mom when she was like pushing the little stroller when they first met Lester. Like that's not something that needs to be resolved, doesn't need to be explained. It doesn't break the show. Like that's fine. And I can like kind of take things with even like the Instagram posts. I can take that, whatever. But like when it kind of just fundamentally starts making things not make any sense, that's where I get annoyed. But I think a lot of the fans are on Reddit because they're excited that they got it correct. And I mean, hats off to you for getting it right. That's great. But I think it's just like the excitement of like, we solved it. That must mean that it's good. And it's like, well, no, it's still not, but it's like, good job that you got it right, but it still could be better. Right. And I think that's really where I'm at is like, I think it could be so much better. And even with season 4 too, there are little things that they could have just made slightly different. It would have been phenomenal, but they didn't. And it's like, you are so close to being good. Why aren't you good?
Yeah. Poke it with a stick. Be good. Be gooder.
Be good. Yes, please.
Please. To your point, I mean, I got the hand thing right. Like I knew Jay was faking that since, and I've said this repeatedly. Like he's gonna unveil his hand, and it's gonna be like ta-da. It wasn't quite as villainous as I thought in my own head, but and that was a little lackluster. He's just like, okay, guys, fine. You want to know the truth? Okay. And it's just like, all right, there's a way to do that, I guess, but it's not that. But to your point, like I got that right, and I'm very happy about that. I think a lot of us got the mayor right. I think we all knew everything other than like, well, whose fucking finger is this? You know, and that still didn't do it for me. Like I was like, ha ha, but also like, the episode still sucks. Yeah.
I was on the fence about like the J finger thing because like and the reason I was on the fence, like it looked like his finger was folded. It looked like there was a big bump there, but they spend so little budget on like visual effects that I thought that it could just be a low budget thing, because like anytime they do the scenes where it's like a younger version of somebody.
Oh yeah, it's just them in a wig.
Terrible.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's them in a wig. And so to me, I was like, okay, it could be that his finger is folded and that's the point and it'll be a big reveal. Or it could just be like, they're not going to spend the money on the effects to like make it look good.
Right. Like a stage play.
This is also what's frustrating with the writing. The writers understood that Jay Flug needed a bandage because if you had your finger chopped off, you would need to have a bandage for a while. And yet the mayor, the next moment we see him right after the murders, no bandage, no stitches, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He could just take it on and off without pain. Like I had a former employer who had an amputation of one of like part of his body, and it took like months and months and months and months and months to recover. So but he's like, yeah, oh yeah, here, my finger.
Like a magic trick, yeah.
Yes, it's like, and then Mabel chopped the finger off. I was like, girl, you're insane, because his thumb is like right there. Like, you could, this is actually
the rest of his hand.
Yes.
What if she's wrong?
Right. She's been so wrong this entire season. Sorry.
Oh,
she knew it was the last episode. It was time. She knew she couldn't go wrong.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
The writers wrote it for her just right. You know what I mean? Just to do that. Yeah, I was thoroughly concerned when that happened, because I was like, well, how much of that? How were you so accurate? First of all, you don't handle knives, girl. Like, let's cut to a clip of the show right now. Let's just cut to a clip of the show.
I suppose I should say, ow?
One of the highlights, though, of this episode has to be the ending. And Megan, you alluded to it, but you ran to the end of the start line, you know, before the gun went off. We accept you. We love you. And we're just going to reel it back. But I'll let you kick this off. That reveal at the end, I'm keeping all of our faces here because good Lord, they suckered me back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've never been more hyped for a victim. With peace and love to Cindy Canning, I haven't been this hyped for a finale since Saz died.
Yeah, same.
And it's because the actress is amazing. It's because the character is really interesting. I do wish, and this is a nitpick, but it's okay, I wish they would have sprinkled in a little Cinda throughout the season or even the episode, so it wasn't like, ooh, now we're hard cut to us talking about Cinda. I wish they would have like peppered it in a little bit, but I think she's very interesting. I think the mystery that she was uncovering, it sounds like, that offers a lot of opportunities for us to kind of delve into something if they're going to London. I don't know if that's like for the entire season or if it's like Hollywood where it's just kind of a smattering of that. Either way, I think it'll be great. Someone in my comment section who lives in London was like, I hope that doesn't mean Paul Rudd's going to come back with some horrible Cockney accent, which it probably will. But I'm great with it. I think it's going to be very interesting. I also, the fact that she's a left-handed girly and there's this whole left-handed smudge that I will literally never forget about until the day I die. I think that maybe could potentially lead to some mastermind stuff. I don't know. So I am ready to be heard again.
Let's go. Let's open up our hearts. We just came out of therapy. Let's open up our hearts for a new relationship for us to get all smothered down on. Ivan, how'd you feel about this?
It was an emotional roller coaster. I'm so excited. It was very season 1-esque for some reason. I don't even know what it was about it, whether maybe how it was filmed, the stakes. I genuinely thought it was going to be Howard. But then Howard acted so weirdly suspicious, so my eye is fully on him and his mobster boyfriend, by the way. So there's that. But I'm excited. I'm so excited for this because as soon as it turned over to Cinda, I was like, oh my god, slam dunk. They did it. I could be mad about the rest, but at least the ending is what I remember the most, and the ending is the most important. So
yeah, how you walk away feeling, that always matters. Mark, how were you? I mean, I know your reaction personally, but how were you feeling the rest of the way, minus the gasps?
Oh man, I'm excited. I was mentioning to Sterling earlier that I think that the show is really good at being meta, and this season didn't really feel as meta as the previous seasons have felt. And so coming back to Cinda Canning and focusing on what, like, if she's already completed this podcast that she's been working on, and that the main trio can go like through her podcast with their podcast, I think could bring back some of that good meta stuff that they're good at. So I'm pumped for it. I'm really excited. Tina Fey coming back, love her. So very excited.
That is a good thing. We know when somebody dies, like that's not the last time we're going to see them. They're going to be all sprinkled in the next episode, just like Saz was, just like the flashbacks of Paul Rudd when he died, and just like this season with bits of Lester here and there. We know we will see them again, and in what capacity will we see them? That's always the question. Sterling, your reaction as well, man. Let me know how you felt.
I loved it. I think that going back to something that harkens back to like season 1, I think they're going to want to get it right. And so I think a lot of effort is going to go into it. I think a lot of love is going to go into it. I'm hyped for this season, and it was such a good tease. And I liked, like Mark, you mentioned the meta moment. Like I loved how meta it was about haggling over whether or not it was in the building or not,
when she reaches her hand over, just one last breath, reaches her hand over.
That is a businesswoman.
I lost
She knows
it.
what to do.
I lost it though. I couldn't do it. I fully laughed. It was great. It was a great moment.
And just the callousness of Howard, of just, there's a dead woman, and he's just like, well, it's technically not in the building.
Are you upset that she didn't die in the building? Is kind of what he said. And it's like, no, I'm upset that there's a dead woman. I'm sad. And he's like, yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, duh, right, of course. But also,
it's a damn shame. Inches from being in the building, barely outside the very limiting confines of your podcast's name. Feels almost like a waste having her die here.
No, it's just thinking how terrible it is that she's dead.
Right. Same.
See, but like, what if it was Howard who did poison her, to be like, oh, okay, well, I know you're here to do your own investigation, whatever, but we need something as a group because I'm now part of the group. So what if it was Howard who poisoned Cinda so that they could get there, and he was just like, well, crap, she didn't quite make it, type thing. Be like, it wasn't it, because I don't know, that's how I read it, because I'm just always suspicious of Howard, even though Howard is basically my brother at this point. Like I just like, I will always suspect you, man, like especially since he's dating Vinny, dude. No one's talking about it. I'm like, so Howard, I'm super onto you again. So.
I think the show does a good thing. I forget who brought it up. Maybe it was you, Megan, but like the show always wants us to suspect Howard since season 1. Like if Jan was like, he's got that weird cat neighbor of yours, and they're like, this cat's dead. He was poisoned. Why would he do that? And she's like, I don't know. He's kind of weird, dude. And like I rewatched season 1, like the end of it recently, just to try and like put myself in the headspace of like, okay, how could this season go and whatever. And thoroughly, you watch the end of that season compared to this one, you can be thoroughly disappointed. But not with that one, but with this one, just to clarify for the fans out there. But like Howard is always on he puts himself out there to be a suspect and even now we're talking about Howard being a suspect. I don't know. It could be interesting, or he could lose another boyfriend.
That would be tragic. I would hate that so much for Howard. At that point, I would be like, Howard, you be the villain.
Honestly,
you deserve it.
Be the mastermind or be happy. Either way.
Yeah, pick a lane, dude.
Yeah, pick a lane. I can't have this back and forth. Either be the mastermind or be in a loving relationship.
Right.
I can't deal with this robot stuff, though.
Yeah,
no more robots.
No more
that.
Lester.
No.
I mean, I feel like all the bad things that we see happening to Howard over this period of time could be his origin story, because it may not be that he always was that, it may be that he's always on the outside looking in, and he tries so hard to get into it. And he finally is like, if I can't get in this way, I'm going to force my way in.
Wow.
I'm terrified.
I love that. I
He
actually
does-
love that a lot.
I'm so scared.
He does always
good.
point the gang in the right direction.
He does. He's always nudging them.
I hope this happens now.
I do now. I can, like, if they do flashers, like flashbacks of him, like, leaving the trio's like lair, and he's just like, I'm gonna get these guys. I'm gonna, or however he talks. And then he's like, kicks his cat or a dog or something. Like, like you're just like, you're a bad guy, Howard. You've always been a bad guy.
Not the kicking of the pet.
My cat's in the room, guys.
You're redeemable.
That's Howard. That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
I'm not telling.
Yeah, we'd have
people-
to put Howard in this situation. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not telling people to go do it. I'm saying this is what Howard, because he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
But I did like this reveal with Cindy Canning. And I want to run around the room real quick to just go around, because I think we've all done episodes together. And I gave my person of who I thought was gonna die, like for sure. Like I'm like, okay, this is gonna be who it is. This is who we're gonna see. And Cindy Canning was not on my bingo card, but somebody in the comments did comment like, that'd be crazy if it was Cindy Canning. And then another person Friday or Saturday commented, if you don't want to know who dies next, don't go to the Hulu Spotify, because they have the soundtrack, and one of the songs, I guess, indicated that Cindy Canning was going to be it. So
Really?
Let's start with you, Mark. Yeah, apparently so. You're gonna go
It is
Google
her
this?
theme song. No, I am reaching for my phone. Yes.
Okay.
But that is her theme song at the very end when they play on So
I
that
think
would
that's
make
what it
sense.
was. All was not okay in Oklahoma, apparently. Mark, who was on your list to be on the chopping block for this?
I thought it was going to be Loretta. I was
Mhm.
pretty convinced it was going to be Loretta. I felt like we got her a lot this season, and just her and Oliver's dynamic. It's like they're too happy, and unfortunately, not saying that I don't want them to be happy. I definitely want Oliver to be happy, but I just feel like for a show like this, having one of the main characters that happy and set, is
That's not,
setting
I
them
heard,
up.
I heard
for
you don't
her.
want nobody to be happy, and she got
Knock him down a peg. Knock him down a peg.
He's narcissistic. He deserves to not be happy. No.
It's a better show when they all need help,
Megan, who was on your chopping block list?
So I was pretty convinced it was Howard, especially after episode 9. It seemed like they were really teeing him up, because he was like, I haven't found my people, whatever. And I thought there was going to be this moment in episode 10 where it was like, him coming together with the trio and all of that. And so I was pretty convinced it was going to be him. I have reservations about him being the big bad. And I'm like, okay, well, if he's not going to be that, then he's probably going to be the murder victim. I had also thought maybe Teddy Demas would be fun, because they brought him back, and Nathan Lane is amazing in the show. So it's like, that would be a great opportunity. I thought maybe Detective Williams, possibly, but I feel like she kind of needs to be that link to the police, especially if the police are corrupt, but they're not corrupt. And I don't know what's going on with them, but I was like, it could be her, but I think they kind of need her in that other capacity. So I was pretty convinced it was either going to be Howard or Teddy, and I was obviously very wrong. So
as we might be about the show with all the guesses that we make throughout 10 episodes of a season, Sterling, who did you have?
It was same as Mark. It was Loretta, and for me, it felt like they were really setting things up. As far as like somehow. So Loretta's place didn't burn down from a tea kettle. There was a broken window. So maybe that's something they're setting up for the future. Maybe that's something they're still holding on to, along with some of the other kind of like ongoing threads. But so it seemed like somebody was trying to get her to New York. And then when she was trying to leave New York, it felt like somebody was trying to stop her from leaving New York, because all of a sudden all international flights are canceled, which is wild. Like it wasn't like it was a crazy winter with snow. It wasn't like there was, a hurricane ripping through, anything like that. Like it didn't make sense. And for me, somebody got her to New York and then somebody stopped her from leaving.
Right.
And I was either wrong about that or they're still going to do something about that.
That's a very good point.
I thought that it was just a reflection. Like they like to poke jokes at things that happen in the real world. And I thought it was a reflection of like, remember, was it last year when all the flights, like the software went down and then like nobody could fly for like a day? I thought that it was like a reflection of that. I'm like, oh, even software doesn't work in their world. They're all stupid too.
But it was just the international flights. It wasn't all the flights.
Right. Yeah.
So
No, that's a fair point. It's a fair point. When I heard that, I was like, oh, they can't fly either. That's funny. Ivan, comes down to you, sir. Who was your chopping block list peoples?
It was Howard. It's always Howard. Honestly, I thought last season they set him up with his loneliness. This season they set him up with his loneliness. So I genuinely thought it was going to be Howard. But then when I saw Teddy Demas and all the things that Blake was saying about Teddy, I was like, oh, it could be Teddy, because I really don't want it to be Loretta, because it did start to make sense. Like you guys started making so much sense about Loretta. I was like, stop making sense about Loretta. I want my boy to be happy. So yeah. I'm glad it was not Loretta, but people that I'm always going to be worried about is Loretta and Detective Williams, because I feel like these two are now gearing up to be vital and emotionally heavy for the trio. And that's why I was like, oh, Howard, if he goes in season 4, it would be because the trio would feel bad that they never let him in. And now if he goes, it'd be because he's happy. I don't know, but like I just don't know if I just don't see Howard being an option anymore, to be honest, for the future. But
because he's going to be the big bad, apparently. Yeah.
I'm going with that one, but
I will say I thought it was either going to be Loretta or Teddy. Loretta had always been on my list because I'm like, how long does Meryl Streep want to do this show? Like, I know she loves her some Martin Short. We all do, but like she loves her some Martin Short. But I was just like, how long is she going to want to? How long are they going to want to keep her here? Like, she can't be, she can't be like cheap to do an episode. You know what I mean? Like, so I was just like thinking it from like a logistical standpoint. I'm like, well, you got to get. And all the fans, I will say, were like, no, you can't do that. Oliver's going to be so sad. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point. Like that's literally the point. Like this will pull him back in the game, because these guys have been off their game for a while now. Like they fumble into wins more often than they make the right choices to go into getting a win. And so I don't know. And then I saw Teddy. Like for a second, I did think Howard, because I'm like, that'd be a great art, with like he contributed to the group and like he's doing so good now. And then like you take him off the board, and then Teddy Demas, I was like, well, I can't bring him back for just one episode to talk shit about a robot. Like they bring him back and then kill him. Like that'd be fun, huh? And then that would take us back and we could loop it around to maybe it has something to do with season 1. Oh my gosh. And big bad. Then this whole, okay. Like now we're cooking with fire. I think we all need to be writers I guess is what I'm saying. We should all be writers for the show.
I would love to.
Or be at least consulting for writers, because they're breaking timelines. And Megan, you got a look on your face. Is it your cat?
Yeah, my cat is literally breaking. Okay. She's literally breaking everything right now.
We got a cat cameo?
When we talked last, Blake, I was like, she didn't appear at all. And I was like, okay, can you please just come and say hi? And now she's like, oh, you want me to come say hi? I'll say hi.
And destroy
You need to save
everything.
your house from her destroying it?
Yeah. When I say otherwise she's going to murder me in my sleep, it's not a joke. I love her, but she is my little apex predator.
She's doing her job. You know,
is doing
cat's gonna cat.
Absolutely. Cat will cat. And by that, I mean all of my figurines are now on the ground. So
This is going to be the most replayed part of the episode, I think. None of what we said. This will be the cat part. Will be.
Yep, there you go. Thanks, Lulu. Sorry about that.
Ask Lulu who she thought was on the chopping block. She'll let you know, maybe.
She said it was Sting. It's always Sting. She always
Always
goes back to
Sting.
that. You know, Sting theory lives.
Sting theory.
I love it.
We need a shirt that says Sting theory
Sting theory
lives.
lives. Yeah.
No, my mom was like trying to get me merch that said Sting theory on it because of my videos. So I was like,
That's amazing.
yeah, sure.
So good.
Yeah.
I need all of that. Yeah, I need all of that today. Let's go.
Yep.
All right, let's get into this as we sort of round this out. I want to hear any thoughts about anything that you can conceptually think. We are moving to the UK, foggy London town, and I kind of like that because I'm like the home of murder mysteries, the home of good old Agatha Christie murder mysteries. They're always set in little villages, and Ed Poirot was always in London trying to solve somebody's stuff or do this and do that. I like that. I like the change of pace. I mean, come back to the Arconia at some point, but like, what are we doing in the UK? Let's start off with some fan theories here so far. Ivan, you released a video though, and it gave some really good thoughts. If you want to kind of encapsulate them, it was a couple minutes, so you can take a couple minutes if you want to. But kind of what were you saying on there for people maybe that haven't watched it yet?
Yeah, I was basically, if you listen to what Cinda Canning says in her episode 1 podcast, I think that is the main clues. Because she says she has 2 obsessions: a flowering jasmine tea, and a new mystery. And she is coughing up blood. There's no indication of an injury. She is coughing up blood. That's a lot of blood, and that only happens if you are poisoned, and if you ingest poison. And so, she definitely has been poisoned, and I think and the last line where she says I feel the need to protect this girl, and I think that her best bet for safety is to send her to America. I think that episode 1 was a decoy for the enemies. I think that she was posing as the girl with the curls, and that she sent herself to America posing as the girl with curls in order to get to the trio, but lo and behold, what she thought the worst case scenario happened. She got killed instead. But that will kickstart the whole mystery as to what happened. I will be frustrated if Cinda Canning is the girl with the curls, if she is the same person. I do want it to be separate people. I do wish that, but if it does, whatever, it's fine. But that's what I have. So,
well, that means our killer currently is in New York. Like that's what it means right now. If she's poisoned right now, that means our killer is there. So we haven't met them probably yet, as according to lore of the show. But I like that. I really do like that. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, of course, poison, duh. And I wanted to top all this, and I was saving this for this episode. But typically in these Agatha Christie murder mysteries, poison is a gal's weapon. It is typically a woman who is poisoning, and we haven't had a woman killer in quite a while now. So I will say this: I think our killer's a woman.
Equality.
That's my thoughts.
More women killers.
More women killers. Yeah. Sterling, what do you think about this so far?
So you mentioned Agatha Christie. I was thinking Sherlock.
Oh yeah.
And for me, when I think of Sherlock, I think of Moriarty, and so I think that we will either finally get maybe like the Moriarty thing is like brought up, but that's not actually the killer. We just
Mhm.
kind of meet that there is that character in the show, and it's not just kind of like a fan theory. Or maybe they actually use that and they actually deal with like the Moriarty theories. Or maybe they know that that's what we're going to think right away. And like a lot of things that they did this season, they just use it as a red herring to screw with us, you know? And so it's like they make us think that that's the case, and then it's completely unrelated.
Far off. Yeah. Megan, what do you think? Any thoughts so far going into this?
Oh, I think, I initially, I thought that I thought Sherlock Holmes as well with the Moriarty, and I do have an uneasy feeling that it could be just like a way to screw with us, because I feel like they did that a little bit in season 5, because everyone's like, oh, where's Oscar's dad? And they're like, look, it's Oscar's dad. I thought you moved out. No, I'm still here. Like I could totally see that being something that they do with the Moriarty just as a way to poke and prod. But I do love Ivan's theory. I think that's really, really great. Because they do kind of intentionally hide her body a little bit, so you can't really see if there's like a wound or something. But ultimately, like, you'd be, producing blood for your mouth if it was poison. So I think that's a really great little twist. And then maybe they have to go to London to talk to this person and try to protect them and figure out what's going on. And that would be a good excuse for them to go, at least for part of the time. So I think that's a really fantastic theory. I'm going to shout that out in my video whenever I get around to filming it, because I thought that was really great. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't even know if we're going to get a Moriarty at this point, and it makes me sad. But I think this will just be some sort of sick joke that the writers are going to pull for their, like, what if we made it a whole season-wide joke about a Moriarty and then we don't talk about it at all?
They keep edging us, and don't look that up, folks. Don't look that up. Just know that they keep getting us close to. Do not do that out there. Mark, thoughts on everything and going into season 6? Any thoughts, man?
So I definitely like Ivan's theory. That is that she is a decoy. That is great. But now I'm really curious of like, what was Cinda Canning, like, was she trying to meet the trio? Like, yes, she was in front of the Arconia at this moment. Was she trying to meet the trio? Was she like, Cinda Canning knows how to solve murders and, herself. So she doesn't necessarily need the help of the trio, but it did seem like she was reaching out to them. So there might be some connection with them that is important, but I don't know.
I like that thought, and I think we can all say this now safely. She figured out she's poisoned, and she's like immediately like, I'm not gonna be able to solve this right now. I can't do this right now. I'm dying. Am I close to, like, I'm sure we'll get a cut to her looking at a map or looking at something and being like, how close am I to the Arconia? I'm 5 minutes. Let me try and like hustle my ass over there and see if I can make it. Cause I know if somebody dying in the building, you know who to call. It's Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? Like, I do think we'll get that. We'll at least get that. I can't believe you're wearing a ghost. I didn't notice that. Maybe that's subliminal messaging.
Tis the season, Yeah.
Against subliminal messaging, it works apparently. Everybody go buy Coca-Cola's on the way home because of the billboards. But before we get out of here, I do want to ask one final question. Who would be somebody, UK actor, you'd love to see in this next season? And since we ended with you, Mark, I think it's only fitting. Let's start with you. Who's like an actor you'd love to see, or actress, or whoever, like both, actor, actress, somebody?
I think I have two that I would really like to see. One more likely than the other. I would love to see Martin Freeman. I think Martin Freeman is a phenomenal actor, and I think he would be great in this dynamic. And I would love to see David Tennant. I know he's a bit more Scottish, but I would love David Tennant. I don't think he's in like the same circles, so he's probably less likely. But Martin Freeman, David Tennant, that's my top two.
David Tennant. Who would that be? Who'd that be?
Oh, you're not a Doctor Who nerd. The longest running sci-fi show ever.
I've seen this guy. Yeah, no, I'm not a Doctor Who nerd. No.
Longest running sci-fi show ever. Absolutely great.
Okay.
I know it's not going to happen in my mind. There's a crossover because they're going to the UK, and we actually have like the doctor helping solve the mystery. I know it's not going to happen, but that's what's in my head.
I like
Well,
that.
who do you have? Who do you have for your pick, Sterling?
Shuti Gatwa, who's also the doctor.
Who's also a doctor.
It's not Doctor Who. It's all the cast. You just
Just
put
the
all the
whole
cast.
cast.
Well, no, it's not the cast. It's the doctor. There's multiple people that play the same person.
Okay.
And he's the most recent. So
Okay.
and I like him.
All right, we love it then. I love that you love it, as the kids say. Megan, who would be on your cast list for sure to have on?
Okay, so you saying David Tennant made me think of Daniel Radcliffe, because I've seen him in things that are not Harry Potter. And I think he's just like very entertaining. He's kind of a little bit unhinged with his energy, but in a very positive way. And I feel like that would kind of match the energy well of the show. It's like a very particular type of person to be on this show. And I feel like he would be really good. I also, just because I made 2 videos about Sting being a mastermind and Sting is English, I kind of have to say Sting. So I'm going to beat that drum until they tell me it's not. So I would love to see him again. I would literally not shut the hell up about it if he's in any capacity involved in the show going forward. So
Sting theory lives. That's it.
Sting
right there.
theory lives.
Sting theory lives. But yeah,
Ivan, same question to you, man. Who you put in your cast list?
I mean, I wrote down my people here actually, but Daniel Radcliffe is brilliant. That's brilliant casting. But for me, I would do Amy Lou Wood. I think she would be a good like female addition to like the whatever inevitable British trio that they're gonna make. Andrew Garfield, because I'm in love with that man.
Yes.
And Matt Smith. So
Yes.
another
doctor.
Another doctor.
All excellent.
Another
choices.
doctor.
To be fair, the longest running sci-fi show has had pretty much every English actor in it at some point or another.
Yep.
So
I don't know if mine has been the one I'm going to pick has been, and maybe probably, but I know for sure he's been Sherlock, and that's good old Benedict Cumberbatch.
Love him too.
Oh,
Love that.
He would be a good get for the show.
I think that he'd do it. I think he'd be really good. You could give him a serious person. You could give him a goofy person.
He's funny. He's like very
he
funny.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna land Christoph Waltz, I don't see how you don't. Why couldn't we get
Christoph Waltz, Renee Zellweger,
Meryl
Diane
Streep.
Weiss,
Meryl
Streep? Like you can get these people.
Yeah, you can get these guys. I got it. If I'm the casting person, I'm like, get me on the phone with Benedict. Well, we need to talk to this guy right now. Like, let's go.
Absolutely.
Everybody in the comments out there, let me know. Like, don't give it a full list, but like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of like some of your favorite English actors who you'd love to see be in the next season. Maybe even the writers will pay attention to us, and maybe somebody will get it right. We don't know unless we ask, unless we put it out there in the ethers. You put the secret out there, whatever the kids are talking about. So on
putting this out there, the writers better. The one thing I ask for season 6 is either a reference to YouTube podcasters who make better theories than the trio, or ask all of us to be in it. That's it.
All right, that's fair. That seems very fair.
Throwing it out there, manifesting it now. That's all.
Look out for all of us in season 6. I'll be honest with you. Look out for all of us in some sort of capacity. We'll be in there for sure. Love it, everybody. This has been an amazing time. I think we just made history by combining a lot of the Avengers team here, and yeah, we deserve a clap. Actually, we deserve. Everybody, just start clapping out there. Just everybody. This is great. We love it. I don't know of another channel where, you know what? Sometimes Sterling. Sometimes I'm really happy I invited you on, and then sometimes I'm like, Sterling be Sterling. That what he be doing. That what he be doing. But we've just made history tonight, I think, by combining 4 different channels onto one episode where we're talking about an amazing show. All in all, I mean, despite what we feel about how it ended. We're so if it ends shitty and then it makes us feel really good and hopeful at the same time. I mean, they're doing a little something right, you know.
Mhm.
So I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight, taking the time. Everybody out there is probably freaking out. They thought that it got good when all of us collabed separately. It just got 4 times better at minimum. Maybe 100 times better for some people. I don't know. I don't really do math, but it could be a thing. You guys know how this ends. I'm going to go through each one of y'all, and I want you to go ahead and take over the show. Shout yourself out. Ladies first. Megan, let's start with you. Shout yourself out. Shout the show out. Let people know where they can find you.
Okay, yeah, so you can find me at KitKats385, me and my apex predator cat, who sometimes wears a donut, and when she's not, she's knocking everything over in my room. I do videos about whatever it is that I feel inclined to talk about in the moment for film and television. So I think right after this show wraps up, I'm going to do a video comparing Andor and Daredevil season 2 to kind of kick things off, and then I'm going to jump into Severance. So just any television shows or movies that I feel like talking about. Yeah, send me your comments to anyone watching. Let me know what you want me to talk about. I will go into way too unnecessary detail, but I will do it because I don't have a lot of other hobbies. So, yeah.
Go follow her channel or her cat will kill you in your sleep.
That
apparently.
too. And that's not a joke. You saw what she did to my little figurines. They're all on the floor. So
that could be y'all out there if you don't go hit the subscribe button
exactly
right now. Ivan, let people know where they could find you at if they're not already following you.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Blue Sky at FilmerDude24. That's pretty much the handle that I have for anything. So you could probably find me. I might have a social media application of that sort, of any sorts, really. So it just depends on if I'm actually using it at the time or not. But right now I'm using Instagram a lot. So you should follow me on there.
Yeah, if you want to know a lot about what's going to happen, what's going on, the happenings, the comings and goings of Hollywood movies and music and pop culture, follow his story. You don't have to read any news articles. You just follow his story and you're like, oh, they're making that, huh? Okay. They casted that person. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that movie didn't do good this weekend, huh? Oh, okay. I learned so much from Ivan's story.
Same.
And you're in the know. You watch a ton, right?
Yeah. I watch about average 80 new shows a year. So mostly the depression, but it's fine.
There's a good side though.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No, it's good.
Road Goes Ever On and On is where you can find Mark and Sterling. Who wants to take the helm on here and plug where everybody can find you?
Either on Instagram, YouTube, or the two biggest places where we go. Really, YouTube is the place to be. So we do weekly breakdowns of episodes. We've done Severance, both seasons, Foundation. We're huge Apple shills. If it's a show on Apple, we are shilling it. The next two are on Apple. So we've got Pluribus, which is a show by Vince Gilligan. And I love the fact, like, how many shows can have as little information as this show has. Like, this is just wild to me because normally you have to have all the trailers and all the publicity. Otherwise, people aren't going to watch it. They're so confident they've already bought 2 seasons. So watch Pluribus. It's going to be exciting. And then after that, Drops of God, wine-based show, season 2. It's a lot of fun. We're really excited about both of these.
Absolutely. Everybody go follow all of these amazing content creators out there. I was happy to be a fan of theirs at minimum, and I'm happy to be friends with these guys. And it's been an amazing ride with them, an amazing ride with y'all. Look out for the breakdown. If it's not out by this point, it should be, but look out for that. And then I think I have one more, working on one more collaborator episode. So look out for that. I don't know when that'll be out, but just look out for that. Everybody here, Megan, Mark, Sterling, Ivan, thank y'all so much for all the hard work you guys have done, from one fan to another set of content creators. I've been watching your stuff all season. Megan, been watching your stuff since last year. So glad to meet Mark. You got new Mark and Sterling. Ivan, I've known since last year. So glad that he could come back. I'm so glad we could do this for the fans. I hope you absolutely loved it. And I hope while you're following them, you follow me, Money Blake, whether Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. You're doing the liking, subscribing, you're doing the sharing and the caring and all the good stuff on YouTube. You're subscribing. I would love it if you did that. And just feel free to shoot any comments your way. You know, I do try to keep up with every comment, even if I don't reply in the thread ongoing, I at least try to reply to every single comment. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. Let me know anything of how you felt, how the season made you feel, where it touched you, all the bad things, because we already heard our thoughts. But I want to thank y'all for making this an amazing season to do. All the fans, you guys are amazing. And like I always say, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this, I do appreciate you. And until the next time, I will see you. Peace.